Muted. Awesome. Already off to a flying start. What's up, everybody? It's Keefe back with another GhostCultMan.com weekly ritual. Technical problems abound. Now solved. I don't know who's going to show up on this New Year's Eve. People are probably already out partying. Some people are getting ready to go out. Please don't drink and drive and be safe. You'll probably hear me say that again before this is all over. This is our last show of the year. This has been, ending the year on a high note. I always find New Year's a time for reflection and, other things. So I'm glad I'm here with you guys every week. Tried to be as consistent as possible. And, yeah, all set now, Michael. Anyhow, thanks for letting me come into your homes and phones and tablets and laptops and desktops and gaming modules every week at this time. I got some new Rode podcasting professional headphones. You can check that out in the link in the description, as well as the product link tagged on YouTube, which is apparently a thing now that we are allowed to do. And yeah, without further ado, let's do the damn thing. I decided a new thing that I'm going to do. I've been doing here and there. I wouldn't say it's brand new, but I've been reading hateful comments every week on the air, off and on for the last couple of months. And I think as long as the comments show up here, I'm going to do this. There was a really funny one. But fun times abound. If this is your first time here, kindly like and subscribe. Ghost Cult is, we're your 24/7 source for news, interviews, reviews, all the things. Mike Fonseca's here. Visions of Terror pass by. Records to Live By is here. Puchuk is here. I hope I said that correctly. Robichard, what up, what up? Yep, I'm back, man. I'm back. I got it. I got it worked out finally. Jesus Christ. Rubber Band Man is here. Happy New Year's to everybody. Frater Mori is here. I'm back. What a time to be alive. But anyway, let's do the damn thing. If you're here, drop a comment. This is your show too, as I like to say. We always start the show with the announcements. I will embiggen this just for sakes, except for y'all on TikTok who cannot appreciate this. Just a reminder, we are still doing our book giveaway, probably for all of January. You can enter to win on our website at the pin post. Win books about Ozzy and Slayer and books by metalheads and metal leaders to help you learn some stuff for 26 and maybe check out that final Ozzy memoir or get those 2 Slayer books. We have some other fun things we're going to throw in for the winners. There's 2 prizes available, but I might just be generous and give away more, but at least 2 prizes are available in the book giveaway. Perry Bamonte, I know he's not in this photo because I don't own a photo of Perry that I can use legally, of The Cure, passed away. Before he was ever a member of The Cure, he was part of the Cure band community for 40 plus years as originally a guitar tech. His brother was the TM, the tour manager, and he passed away after an illness this week, which sucks. Eric Garcia is here. What up, what up? Good to see you, good to see you. So yeah, Perry, and I'll talk a little bit about this right now. Last week we told you the story about Sleep Token and the business with the photographer in Europe and this guy making coins for bands that just kind of takes people's photos and does his own artwork that the band then sells. And there was a debate about do photographers own the images they take of someone else that's famous? The answer is yes. It's a work of art created for a purpose. Most of the time in Europe, photos are not done. They're done. There's no contract. There's no rules. If you're doing a festival, you might shoot like Metallica at a festival in Europe, and you could never get to shoot them here because the rules are just a little different. Full Metal Jackie is passing by. What up, Full Metal Jackie? Big fan, as you know. So somebody was coming at me about the photo. And if I put up a photo of Robert, which I have numerous photos of Robert Smith that we shot at a festival with permission that I can reuse legally, people would be freaking out. Oh my God, they'll see somebody died in Robert's picture and they'll freak out. You'll make people upset. So I don't have a lot of access to other Cure photos. And You know, he didn't write on a lot of records, although he did make some of their best records, Wish and things like that. But like, you know, it's just kind of disappointing that people like, thank you for blowing up the algorithm and helping us on Facebook with your mean critical comments, but also, you know, kind of get over yourselves a little bit. I understand, you know, everybody else is just taking a photo willy-nilly they don't own. I would like to not get sued in 26. What's up, Will by Design? Welcome back. Tony is here. Welcome back to you also. So just a thing about photographers and photography. Isaiah Whitlock, if you watch The Wire, you know him as the shit guy. He died at 71 this week. Very sad. Very, very sad. Great actor, great comedian. And his role in The Wire is super interesting, and he was actually like showed dramatic range for a guy that was mostly a comedian. You know, I'm good, Will. I'm just doing the New Year's Eve thing here, doing our weekly show on a Wednesday. It's normally every Thursday. But you know, just got a little bit of a late start here. Thanks to all those watching on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else. I appreciate you all. And yep. Just you know, just doing the damn thing for the last time this year. People are on Twitch. I appreciate you. Other people who passed away this week would be the 5-year anniversary of Alexi Leho of Children of Bodom. Incredibly talented and troubled guy. Passed away from complications of liver disease and cirrhosis, but incredibly talented, very young guy that passed away. Huge guitar hero to many. Last week we talked about Lemmy's birthday, and of course his death anniversary is also December 28th, a few days after his birthday. Still maybe my favorite photo I've ever taken of anybody, and I did shoot a lot of photos in the concert world for a long time. But I do love this photo. And yeah, the world is a less great place without Lemmy in it. Also, Motorhead's official pages put up like a post. It was the 10-year anniversary of Lemmy's passing. So they put up this empty picture of like his hat and his jacket for the stage, like just sitting there on a rack unused and untouched. And how sad that is. Also kind of less somehow renowned, the incredible John Sykes. You know him best from his time in Whitesnake and Blue Murder, but John Sykes was in Thin Lizzy through one of their most interesting periods, the Thunder and Lightning period, and also the early 80s. An incredible singer and guitar player. Officially died a year ago on December 28th. It didn't get announced until late January because his family was kind of holding on to that. Vas Pyre is also here. What's up? What's up? Lisa Canales is here. Indica Jones. What up? Lou, Ange, good to see you all. So, yeah, John Sykes, you know, gone but not forgotten. I love that little thing. And also the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold. You know, probably, again, I said this frequently, one of the best fan bases in music is Avenged Sevenfold. Rez is here. What's up, pal? Happy New Year. We were talking about the Killing Joke release, Jarbo, and, yep. Slayer, Hell Awaits. I gotta be honest though, on my other podcast, that's not this show, we talk about vinyl, and I talked about like, I know that there's probably a reason why the Hell Awaits master tapes are probably not good or salvageable, so they are not remastering Hell Awaits for vinyl. You're better off, if you really love that record, trying to find hopefully not backbreakingly priced. Probably the price will go down now that they're putting a new version out. But I don't really require an unmixed, unremastered version of Hell Awaits. I do love that album. Cam Pierce is passing by. Cam Pierce Media. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Happy New Year. It's almost New Year's where you are. A few more hours to go. I'm just doing my show a little bit later than I planned, but I'm doing it. That's the main thing. Thank you, Reza. Great year for Reza Mills writing for Ghost Cult. Much appreciated, brother. And we will look forward to more reviews from you in the new year and your other things. Q is here. Happy New Year's Eve. What's up, brother? But yeah, the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold died on December 28th, also about like almost 10 years ago. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Stan Lee would have turned 103 this week. Very sad since he passed away. Also, Vaughn Oliver, who has made many album covers you know and love, also passed away 6 years ago this week. Celebrating birthdays and on to some happier stuff. Scott Ian of Anthrax's birthday is today. Happy birthday to Scott. I'm a huge fan. Also, here's Close Enemies, the new band from Tom Hamilton of Aerosmith. He is a New Year's Eve baby. Also, Evan Seinfeld of Biohazard. Huge year for Biohazard. This is shot by my partner at Ghost Cult, Omar Cordy. This dude is like 58 years old and he's in better shape, like unbelievable shape. He's like very into fitness, and I think he went vegetarian. I think so. Evan Seinfeld with a birthday this week. And also my dude, Mark Lopes, you know him best from his time from Ross the Boss. He has a new album coming out with his thrash band, Let Us Pray, sang for Metal Church for a year. He's not part of their new comeback record, but Lopes is one of the best dudes I know, and he's an incredible singer. And I'm really proud of him and happy. This is shot, you can't really see from this photo. He is on stage at Bloodstock Open Air with Ross the Boss in front of 50,000 crazy fans in 2019, 2020. So good shit there. Lopes is my dude. We got to get a new interview with him at some point. Also, just randomly on this week in music history, there was an episode of Friends. I've never seen one whole episode of Friends for any reason. But this ad at a newsstand for a Shelter Dog Eat Dog and Orange 9mm is somehow in this thing. And the anniversary of that actual show where they shot this, this poster from was I think December 26th in the 90s. So pretty fun. Just a reminder, if you are feeling tipsy and generous and you want to tip us, that is cool. Ghost Cult has some money from advertising, but we are not we're not a big corporate entity. So if, the live stream menu for 25 for the last time, I'll have to update this for next week. We'll go back to our regular Thursday schedule next week. But here's all the things we do. If you want to give us some general support, you could tip us $3 or a super chat or a super thanks on YouTube. You can buy us a coffee on Ko-fi or something for $6. You could be a real one for $25. We'll rate your song. That's going to go up next year. And I still do social media and music business consulting calls, release schedules, marketing plans, release plans. I've worked in and around the music industry for many, many, many years, and I have been a professional marketer for almost 20 now, social media strategist and digital marketing expert. So hook up a call with your boy, and I will give you 2 hours of my time to just talk about whatever you want to talk about for your band. And then, of course, here's all the links where you can support us. Cash App, Ko-fi, PayPal, Venmo, basically at Ghost Cult Mag everywhere. And then I will stop hawking myself for a minute. All right, that's our Cash App if you want to save it. Again, thanks to everybody who's watching. There are quite a few people watching on the Instagram, on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, everything. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you all. Just grateful to do what I do every week. A lot of gratitude this time of year for me. A lot of gratitude. All right. Moving on. We start the news rundown every week, and we talk about metal festivals. So we're going to talk about the newest metal festival update that got announced, and then I'm just going to run down a few things I'm interested in doing or covering with Ghost Cult next year, either myself or someone on the team. This is the features. Sorry, features and then the festivals. That's right. So we did we are running out end of year lists from staff, from guests, from publicists, from record label people, friends of ours in the business. We did our album of the year countdown. Ghost was the #1 album of the year. You can check that out in a second. I just did this huge vinyl unboxing of the massive anniversary edition of Smashing Pumpkins' Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. I gratefully accepted this from Universal Records. And we did a big unboxing and review. I wrote a little deeper dive review for our website. Check all that out in the description if you want to check it out. Probably their best work. I know they're not for everybody. And I go back and forth even with Billy on his vocals and stuff. But he's an incredible songwriter. Melancholy is a classic album from that decade. Unbelievable stuff. And I relived it all by listening to it all again. And it was pretty great. And what they gave you for the money is incredible value, especially for diehard fans. Once again, our countdown is live. You can go check that out. I'll be sharing little drips and drabs from that over the next week still. And I have some live streams. I haven't been doing any live streams except this one. But starting even Sunday or Monday, I'm going to start rolling back out live streams again. I have my own personal top 20 of the year to get through. I'm going to do the best books of the year for music. I'm going to do vinyl reissues, which I've collected quite a few of, and several were sent to me. including that one, but others in addition. So yeah, just running through the things. And then going through the interviews this week, we talked to Owen Pauls, who you probably, if you're a Warped Tour kid, you might know who Owen is. He was a drummer in the band The Exposed. He played in a couple of other bands. He's from the UK originally, but he joined a US band and toured the world, opened for all kinds of huge bands as a punker. And then he was doing poster art and album artwork for people. And then people started asking him to draw their tattoos. Summer the Flies is here. Good to see you. What's up? What's up? Thanks for sharing. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Come and hang out. Come talk. Tell me about your plans for 26, Summer the Flies, if that includes music or other things. And then, so Owen became a tattoo artist kind of by accident, and now he's been in the tattoo game. He's one of the best black and white tattoo artists in the country. He's based out of Seattle. He works a lot out of LA, travels the world. And we caught up with him to talk about that transition from punk rock drummer to world-renowned tattoo artist. Speaking of drummers, I also talked to my dude, Nick Parkinson of Salesianos, which is an Australian black and death metal avant-garde band that he's pretty much the mastermind of. It's kind of a studio home project. They put out some new singles this year, and I talked to him all about his process. You might see him from his drum cover videos. Again, Summer the Flies, what's up, what's up? Good to see you, and thank you, M, for liking the live, and anybody else that likes the live. If you follow us on any of these socials, I will follow you back when I'm all done. Anywho. Also, just in case you were slow for the holidays and not up on your YouTube stuff, we interviewed Brocardi, Justice Peterson, who worked for us out of Chicago. She stepped down from Ghost Cult recently, but her final thing with us was this Brocardi interview. And really interesting up-and-coming rock artist, very unique and interesting perspective on making music in this day and age. Also, I interviewed Kate from Pupil Slicer, probably one of the more underrated black and death metal albums of the year. Fleshwork, also a little industrial flavored, so really good stuff there. We got plenty of stuff coming up. We got plenty of interviews to roll out next year, and some big ones we're working on getting to. Also, again, the Glacially Musical Podcast, hot off the press with this graphic. My other gig when I'm not doing this is the Glacial Musical Podcast, Beer, Metal, and Swearing. We finish up our series on Queensryche this week with not Operation Mindcrime, but Promised Land. One of us did not like it at all, but generally speaking, I love Queensryche, especially the early stuff. We'll see if Promised Land is as good as Mindcrime and Empire. You'll have to be the judge, but check us out. We have a lot more fun things coming up, including a brand new series on Ronnie James Dio. So we're just keeping the metal going in 2026, since metal is in our name. Now it's time for the metal festivals and the news rundown. Here we go. And this is a pretty big one. I will embiggen the screen again. Fire in the Mountains, which had their debut festival last year. Black Braid debuted his new album there, which I'll talk about Black Braid in a second. So special guest headliner Sub Rosa, it will reunite for Fire in the Mountains. Now, I think that means that they're going to do other festivals and maybe go to Europe. But, like, if they only got back together for this one thing, wow, that's amazing. Full of Hell will do their only show in 2026 at Fire in the Mountains. Old Man Gloom, great project. Raven Chacon and Igor Cavalera are doing a collab there. Savage Death, and many, many more bands to be announced. So this is really cool. We had we were supposed to cover it. It didn't quite work out. Maybe we'll get out there this year and cover it. It's in the foothills of Montana on a Native American reservation. Pretty damn cool. Also, once again, we've been repping the Mojave Experience. We'll be sponsoring the Mojave Experience soon with an announcement, but hope to be out there. I should be out there in Joshua Tree in March. And it's going to be a banger time. Stay tuned soon for an interview with me and Patrick, the booker of this, and also the frontman of the band Volume. A bunch more bands got added to the Milwaukee Metal Fest. Now it's kind of pulling me that I probably need to go to this thing. It is in early June, but it does look phenomenal. And I've only been to Wisconsin once, and I've never been to Milwaukee, so it would be kind of an adventure. And I have quite a few friends there. Also, Prepare the Ground is extremely tempting. Same week as Maryland Death Fest, unfortunately. But a little smaller festival in Toronto, Amun-Ra. You will know us by the Trail of the Dead, the Keening. Speaking of members of Sabrosa, Malevich, Minsk, as well as Oransi Pazuzu, Paul Bear, the final performance ever from Svalbard, Unholy Altars, Wreckmeister Harmonies, and probably a few more bands. That looks really amazing. I've heard great things about it. It's been called the North American Roadburn, which you know that Ghost Cult covers every year. And also this festival, Northwest Terror Fest, is in early May at Numos and Barboza in Seattle, and Kailisa is the headliner there. Also quite a draw. Pig Destroyer also there. Arctangent Festival looks like we might finally get to cover this again. Primus, Chelsea Wolf, and Cult of Luna with Julie Christmas revisiting their Mariner album. That's why this poster, if you're watching on YouTube and Twitch and things. Spotted Cow, I'm telling you, I need the Spotted Cow and I need the cheese curds, and even barbecue in Wisconsin's not bad. I had quite a good roadside pulled pork in Wisconsin. Good times. Spotted Cow beer. And maybe it'll be baseball season and I can go see a Brewers game. I don't know. I'm ambitious. This Arctangent poster, I didn't put it together until they announced Cult of Luna. It's the color scheme for the Mariner album by Cult of Luna. So just a thought. Also, the Metal Italia Festival with Guess Who? Paradise Lost. Also featuring Coroner, Amun-Ra, Cynic, 1914, and many more. That looks pretty cool next summer. Satan Fest got announced for next summer in Iceland. This looks insane. I would like to get to Iceland sometime. It does look amazing, like an amazing place to visit, but also an amazing place to see a metal festival. Happy almost New Year, Piercing Ken and Piercing Metal. What's up? Milwaukee lineup is stacked, dude. I'm Rubber Band Man. You are so right. Plus Suicidal, who I usually don't miss. Maryland Death Fest, again, looks incredible next year, but I think with all these other things, it might be some things pulling me away from there now. And that's all the festivals. We will bring you so much more festival coverage in 2026. I might even do a whole festival previews like spring, summer, fall, and do it like that. We're still waiting on some Danny Wimmer Fest to get announced, like Aftershock and the Full Louder Than Life festival lineup, and Riot Fest is going to get announced soon. So all these things. 2 New Year's Eve shows already both played last night. High on Fire, Secret Chiefs 3, Necrot, and Olum at the Great American Music Hall. I have many friends in the house. Primus is now doing an every year end of year concert at the Fox Theater. I do believe they're going to write new music with their new drummer, John Hoffman, next year, and maybe put it out. Maybe they're already writing it. But if you're out in the city partying, if you're in any city partying, take an Uber home or walk. Don't drink and drive. Please be careful. April Fox is here. Yoga Kind of Rocks. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Yeah, Milwaukee Metal Fest looks incredible. All those festivals look pretty great. Northwest Terror Fest, Prepare the Ground. I need to see Kailisa. I still haven't seen Acid Bath, so I don't know. Speaking of Pig Destroyer is headlining a show in Baltimore tonight to close the year. Our homie Chris is there, Cellards. Check that out. He probably will post videos from the show. Also, again, Foo Fighters benefit. I think it already sold out at the Kia Forum. Only Foo Fighters could announce a show in 3 weeks and sell it out. But that's the energy they're bringing in the 2026. We'll see if the public is as forgiving of Dave as they have for other people. Also, Zetro in. Zetro out, Dukes in. I know Zetro was formerly of Exodus, was supposed to do a headline tour of South America. I do believe that's still going to happen, but not yet. He has announced his own headline show where he's going to play all the music from across the Legacy, Testament, Exodus, Deep Cuts, with Phantom Witch opening, Killer Band Phantom Witch. I'm a big fan. Skull Bashers here. What up, what up, what up? Good to see you. Mochito is here. So yeah, Zetro, I might go to that. It's a Monday. I might very well go to that. Again, Nefarious is going to play Saturday night with their new singer, Nefarious, Nukem, Trencher, and Parabellum, the band. I will not be around for it, but I hope to catch their next one. Got my tickets for New Year's. Stay home and do nothing. I'm going to be staying home and doing something. I'm going to be hanging out with my love, Melissa. We're going to eat an obscene amount of cheese and crackers and probably watch some movies and talk to friends. Once again, if you feel like tipping and you're feeling tipsy, please tip us. That would be cool. If not, that's also okay. Once again, if you want to get hooked up, look at this beautiful beard I've been working on. Let me put myself back on the screen here. this beautiful beard job is due to Fable Beard Company. And if you sign up with the link in our description and our link tree, you can get I think you get $10 off your first order, and we get free Fable Beard merch. So, Fable Beard products. So I will do a proper Fable Beard review video, so as a short or something soon. Once again, when you see ads at ghostcultmag.com for the third year in a row, we are partners with the Lambgoat Media Network. Lambgoat is the much meaner, maybe arguably evil version of Ghost Cult. Don't go in the comments. You will be horrified. But when you see ads on our website, that's the Lambgoat. And also, once again, if you're watching this anywhere, but unfortunately TikTok, we're streaming through the magic of StreamYard. But also I want to shout out my dude Craig Caruso of Caruso Apps for being my break in case of emergency web developer. He is the best. I would not be in business without him. And yes, StreamYard for all your streaming needs. If you want to pull all of your socials together in one shot, StreamYard is the bomb. They've done a lot of upgrades and progress this year that I'm extremely proud of. We're on all the socials. We have a newsletter we're ramping up send outs with next year. Again, our book giveaway is you sign up for our newsletter to get entered to win. We'd like you to stay signed up. If you don't have, I hear all the time, Mark Badger's here. What's up? All the time I hear from people like, I didn't know that show was coming. I just had dinner and chilling for New Year's Eve. Same for tomorrow. Word, man. Amateur hour, Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, St. Patrick's Day. I don't need to prove my partying self. Actually, I had a beer I could be drinking right now, but I'm just going to have a beer later. I haven't been drinking much because I'm on a whole bunch of meds. Kashmiri is here. I did hear about the 9 CD Rainbow box set. My other podcast, the Glacially Musical Podcast, which is not on TikTok, you can check that out wherever you listen to podcasts. We're doing a series on We finished our series on Queensryche. The last one's going to run on Friday. And we're going to start a new series in 2 weeks on Dio. Sick, bro. Yeah, man, I'm really, I got to give it to Wendy. I met her once. Wendy Dio has done a marvelous job with Ronnie's Legacy, the charity fundraising for Stand Up for Cancer. I even like the Dio hologram show. I like the show. I'm not going to lie. I wish they could have got it a little bit better. The band was fire. So, yeah, we're on all the things. Sign up for a newsletter if you want to get just a condensed weekly digest of all our big things. This show, New Music Friday video previews, and links to buy new music. All the people tell me all the time, I didn't know this album was coming out. I didn't know this band came to my town. I didn't know this merch came out. We are your source for all those things. So we're on all the things. Feel free to follow us. Wendy needs to get the hearing aid re-released. I'm telling you, we are stars. Anyway, that's a very bad Dio imitation. Talking about the big news and drama of the week, Dave Mustaine of Megadeth detailed that he is actually the reason Megadeth is retiring is he really only has a couple of years left to even be able to play guitar, apparently. He is suffering from a condition that he already has arthritis in his wrists and hands, but is actually causing his hands like neurological and physical damage. And he's just not going to be able to play guitar the way he likes to. So I think that's actually closer to the reason why they're calling it a day. I know a lot of people have been skeptical about farewell tour, especially after he said, we're doing the farewell tour. And then we are going to do that for 3 to 5 years. But I think 3 is maybe even optimistic. It sounds like he really is not going to be able to play soon, which sucks. So go see Megadeth open for Maiden. What are your thoughts on the Triumph reunion? So here's what I think. The Triumph is a band I never saw. And April Wine, I can't imagine there's enough boomers that want to go see Triumph and April Wine in arenas. Or what is a sellout for an arena is really 10,000 seats. They should really be just doing theaters in America, big theaters. I don't have a problem with it. There are bands out there with no original members. I mean, you could go see Foreigner, and if Mick isn't on tour with them, they don't have any original members. Blue Lou Graham, the Glacial Musical Podcast is like an unofficial Foreigner video channel, basically now, Foreigner news channel. And, sometimes they don't have any original members. Cheap Trick has 2 original members. Some bands have no original members. So I don't have a problem with it. Yeah. But like they were saying, like the last time Triumph tried to tour, they weren't very good. So they need supportive people in it. They just can't probably perform everything themselves, the 3 of them. So I don't have a problem with it, Mark. I think it's, make that money. If the demand is there, go see it. Them saying like Ticketmaster is over the moon with how many people want to go to this. I love Phil X, bro. I've hung out with Phil X. I've interviewed him for his solo record. Huge Phil X fan. He's great. Huge fan. Great dude. So yeah, I don't know. I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and maybe you showed up after I talked about it on the show. But anywho, so Megadeth, we'll see what happens. New Megadeth album in about 3.5 weeks. Jane's Addiction, we were bringing you this story recently. Jane's Addiction has cleared their lawsuits against each other now that we know they patched things up and made a public, some kind of, forced at gunpoint and lawyers apology statement to each other, where the band had to apologize to Perry. Perry apologized back to them and the fans, and now they settled the lawsuits. So I expect to see Jane's Addiction sell their catalog, and someone else will manage that, and the band doesn't have to talk to each other anymore, similar to Roger Waters and Gilmore, Pink Floyd. Amigo the Devil dropped a new single this week, New Kind of Lonely. I know there's a video coming where it has like footage of the fire that burned his house down. The song is just heartbreaking. He's going to release a series of singles. He's got his own record label now, Liars Club, which has put out his last couple of records. So I think he said for the foreseeable future, he's just going to do a series of singles, I think, until he has the capital to probably put it all together as a release later. And his fan community has kept him going, which, I have to give much respect to. Nico Lafrico is here. Joss Mangla is here. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Andrew Stevens. So Amigo, new music. I'm a big fan. Speaking of drama, Veil of Maya, just randomly, Veil of Maya put out a statement that they were not working with Louis Mayorga anymore. They're a longtime, Lucas Magyar. He's not in the band anymore. They put out a statement. He put out a statement. They had been on a hiatus, very turbulent stretch for them. They were going on an indefinite hiatus and canceled their tour dates. Their guitarist is in Falling in Reverse. Fuck that band. I hate them. I hate Ronnie. But yeah, so, no statement about the departure and no plans for a new vocalist at the moment. But he put it out. If you do it, it won't be with me. I decided to part ways and focus on his new band, Siphon. So good luck. I don't see myself ever being with Veil of Maya. And he wasn't their original singer anyway. So, yeah. But I think people were, they liked him. He had good the inhale vocals. If you like deathcore, progressive deathcore with the inhale vocals, he was good at it. What else? Cal-El, a psychedelic rock from Norway, excuse me. I almost said New Orleans. They are putting out a new album. They put out a new song and a video. You can pre-order that now on Majestic Mountain Records or Blues Funeral Recordings, named for the Mark Lanigan record that I love. Terror, this is a great story. So bootleggers, some people bootlegged Terror's logo over this shirt of Nas in front of the Queensboro houses. And then Terror bootlegged the bootleggers and put out their own shirt with this picture on it. So I gotta say, if you're gonna steal and you steal a diamond, it might get stolen back from you. Probably one of the more fun things I've ever seen. I would even get this shirt. Strangely, a road case from Led Zeppelin turned up on Facebook Marketplace that used to belong to John Paul Jones. I don't know what's in it. I don't know who bought it, but it showed up on a Facebook Marketplace. And I didn't know if this thing was fake, like that fridge outside of Danzig's old house recently. I was like, this seems like a copy pasta. This seems fake, but this is real, apparently. This was pretty interesting. So DMC was asked, one of the killers, convicted killers of Jam Master Jay, was freed. His case was overturned and freed from jail. And they got DMC like 2 minutes after the news came out, and he flipped the fuck out and said he was going to call their family. But, Jam Master Jay, man, a terrible tragedy occurred. They really never found the killers. They had some evidence, but I guess it wasn't a strong enough case. And so one of them is now free. Kind of cray. Also, this is actually a super fun story. Close to home for me, I live in the neighborhood in San Francisco, in West Soma, that is home not only to where I do karaoke at the Willows, where I host karaoke, and I do karaoke also at the Eagle. Oasis, probably the most famous drag club in America, was slated to close. They've had a lot of financial hardships. Attendance is down. They were robbed not too long ago of like $70,000, and they got an anonymous donation of millions of dollars to stay open. So this is wonderful for my local community, and I'm really happy about it. Also, the former Slim's Club, also formerly YOLO, right across the street from my house and down the block, is going to reopen as a new music venue. I think there's an Oakland rapper who's opening it, but they're not necessarily adverse to booking rock shows. So DNA Lounge is on the same block, and maybe, Slims will live again, not as Slims, but as something else. That's kind of fun. There's that picture again of this guy. Melissa Alftamar probably has one of the most anticipated memoirs, having been a member of Hole and Smashing Pumpkins and briefly A Perfect Circle and having a solo career. So she's putting out her memoir. I will have a video soon of my top 10 books of the year with some honorable mentions. We're giving away rock and metal themed books in our giveaway. Check it out in the description. Let me link that in the description now so everyone has it. I'll also drop it into the comments because I'm awesome like that. Boom, boom, boom. That's why I like StreamYard. Hello. Hello, babe. So if you want to sign up for those, you can. I'll finish up in a second. I'm just going to drop it into there we go. Bing. And one more. So let's see, moving along. Tank the Tech, who I've been a big fan of, and I mentioned earlier in the show, had done a really great video on the sleep token thing. He is taking a break indefinitely. He's going on indefinite hiatus from his podcast because he's moved to Germany and he's officially becoming a German, an expat of America working in Germany for Electric Callboy, which he's the tour manager for. And I'm sure he has a huge year with them where he's going to be mostly in Europe anyway. So it's an opportunity to move to Europe and raise his kids there. But because of the kind of visa he got, he cannot and should not be able to work and like make another stream of income that is not that, working for Electric Callboy. So he is putting a stop to his own, his podcast and stuff, which I think is hella interesting. Let's see, comments. Here we go. Here's the giveaway, all of y'all on TikTok. If you want to, from Ghost Cult is the end of the saying. That's a very too long a link. That's kind of interesting. But it's also in our link tree. It's also in our description. There, I pinned it. So, yeah, man, Tank the Tech. I will miss his videos. He's had great content. I'm sure he's going to make some passive income from that. I can't imagine he's going to leave the partner program and turn it all off, but super interesting. Some good news for a friend of ours. Duncan Evans is a writer for Ghost Cult. He's also a great singer-songwriter. He used to be in the black metal band A Forest for Stars. His new album, long-awaited, long-in-the-works album, Duncan Evans and the Weeping Starlight, is now up for pre-order. So you can help support our guy. Oh, lost the light there. You can help support our guy as he continues his musical journey, which I'm very excited about. Duncan, friend of the show, member of Ghost Cult, a Ghost Cultist. He's also got a podcast with Nick Cameron of the Glacially Musical Podcast, the Department of Metal Antiquities. They listen to these records so you don't have to. Great tagline. Here's another one of these that I thought was like, what in the hell is going on, man? Week after week, I really loathe to talk about these stories, but Bill Murray guitarist Reese Maslin has left the band amid allegations from his former partner. Bill Murray is like a really great hardcore deathcore band and is led by Johnny Frank, formerly of Attack Attack, and said, these are like old kind of stories about my relationship in the past, but I want to take time away to take care of myself. So, I respect that and understand that, but it's just like one thing after another, one battle after another with all these people. And then I can't tell you how many people DM me this week to talk about Greg, formerly of Dillinger Escape Plan, Greg Puciato, also of Jerry Cantrell's solo band, also of Better Lovers, who have a new album coming out. There have been long-time allegations made against Greg. We haven't done the story yet because I'm waiting to get more information. He's married now and has been for many years, but his former partner was Jenna Hayes, the adult actress. That's not a here or there that she's an adult actress. It's just a statement of fact. And she posted kind of a video tagging her current and former partner romantically, and then mentioned Greg by name as being abusive and ruining her life, even though they haven't been together for many years and started going out over 10 years ago. But, there's no statute of limitations on being a terrible person or an abuser, even if legally there is. So we're waiting to get more information about this. Yes, I'm aware of it. No, I'm not going to run a story until I know something more, but I wanted to talk about it because a lot of people DM me. If more allegations come out about Greg from other people, we'll have to address it then. But yes, I know. Yes, I know. And then last and not least, I thought this was pretty damn interesting. Again, like Full of Hell recently lost one of their members, and they are only playing Fire in the Mountains. I mentioned that earlier. And they're taking the rest of the year off to write new music and just kind of do family time, which I respect. I've interviewed Dylan about a year and a half ago. I love Full of Hell, one of my favorite bands. They continue to do like collabs and new music all the time, but I think they're going to really hone in on their next record and chill, which I respect. All righty. My heart says pit. My knees say balcony. That's where I'm living in 2026. I went to less shows this year than ever before in my life, and honestly, I got to say I'm happy about it. I am happy about it. I have some FOMO, but most of the time it's like I have other things going on in my life, and I can't be at a show 6 days a week. It's just not possible. Now it's time for the mailbag. New Music Friday will come back, I think, next week or the week after for 2026. And it's time to talk about the mailbag. I had a fantastic Christmas. I know this is a tough time of the year, and I don't necessarily want to be a shill for commercial things, but we do sell and promote and review things. Like if you like my review of the Smashing Pumpkins box set and then you go buy one from the link on our site, that doesn't necessarily help us other than looking good to the label. Like we helped them and they did good by giving it to us. But I know this is a tough time of the year, and I'm not the most commercially driven person. I do collect records, and I do collect, obviously having a ton of black shirts and trucker hats, but that's kind of like my uniform as a metalhead more than anything else and what I'm comfortable in. But I did have a very good holiday. My girlfriend spoiled me wonderfully, and her family spoiled me, including my future brother-in-law, who gave me a Journey shirt. Everybody knows I hate Journey, so this is really hilarious. And it is a very high-quality shirt in my size. Also, I wanted to talk about just really quick, and I linked this in a YouTube video. These are my new podcast headphones. These are the Rode NTH100. They're much more advanced than your regular headphones. They're certainly not cheap. I think the cheapest they are is Amazon and Sweetwater have them for about $139. That's what I got these from. And Rode, as you know, makes all the podcast software and things, and we have like a podcast device. And I've had other Rode gear, Rode microphones and things that we've bought and worn and used at festivals and video interviews and things. But so far, I love these things. Maybe I'll do a whole product review. Again, it's not sponsored. I bought these. So maybe I'll do a review on them since we do hundreds of these videos a year. And then I had a few other things I wanted to share that I got recently in the mail, including this Gods of Metal Crosswords for Metalheads book. I do love crosswords. I used to do the New York Times crosswords. Are you ready to test your true metalhead knowledge? This book is packed with 60 crosswords inspired by the metal legends from Black Sabbath to Judas Priest, Slayer to Pantera, Motorhead, and Metallica, and countless others. So that's kind of fun. Thank you again, honey, for this. Also, I haven't even opened this yet, but got a set of teas from Madame Zuzu's tea shop outside of Chicago, or in the Chicago neighborhood of Highland Park, also owned by Billy Corgan. Everything comes back to Billy Corgan this week, huh? But yeah, let's just really quick open up the package and see what's inside. I should have opened this before, shouldn't I? Again, hopefully people are, if you're in for the night, cool. Thanks for watching with us. If you're going out, please be safe and smart. Be aware of your surroundings. Buckle up if you have to get in a car. Please don't drive. I appreciate you for not drinking and driving. Here's 2 teas from Madame Zeus's Teas. Lemon Berry Meritage. Ooh, fancy. We have some coffee videos coming up. Maybe we'll also do tea. And Soothing Sunshine Ginger Turmeric, which I love. Turmeric tea. I drink a lot of the Trader Joe's Fair Trade turmeric tea, turmeric and ginger. It's good for my conditions. And then just last and not least, I'm going to share some vinyls I picked up at the Next Record Store in Santa Rosa. Thanks for the gift card, Derek. I got these cool records. I probably have a few more things to check next week here at the house that I haven't yet checked, but I got Death, Madness, Horror, and Decay by The Lurking Fear. This was the side project of Thomas Lindberg of At the Gates. Very sad that he died this year. Got the new Castle Rat, one of the few new albums I did not get yet this year until now. So this was on the Ghost Cult Top 20, in fact, albums of the year. And pretty great. I'm very looking forward to that. Also picked up Spirit Box's The Fear of Fear EP, which came out before Tsunami Scene. This is pretty badass. I'm a fan. And then last but not least, of course, 9 Inch Nails. Huge fan. Saw them this year. They were incredible. Love the Tron Era soundtrack, one of my favorites. The Downward Spiral, the definitive vinyl edition, curated and remastered by Trent Reznor himself. So really cool. I feel like I had an older copy of that back east that I haven't seen in a long time. And I wanted to make sure that I got a hold of it. I had the opportunity to get it. Thanks for the loot, Derek and family. So that's our show in a very manageable 47 minutes and 36 seconds. Once again, this is our last show of the year. I'll be back with new shows as soon. We'll have new videos every week, Monday and Wednesday, usually for our interviews. Live streams Sunday, sometimes Monday night, sometimes Tuesday. Stay tuned here at Ghost Cult. We got a lot of big things to bring you in 2026. Festivals, interviews with huge bands, album reviews on our website, everything, news, all the things you need. And as we say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world, so please take care of yourselves, take care of everyone else. Please don't drink and drive. Be safe on this New Year's. Live to fight another day in 26. If you're struggling, our DMs are open. Hit me up. I'll be there for you. I promise. People have been there for me. Heading into this next year with some optimism, an open mind, open heart, and sometimes a closed fist. I'm Keefe from Ghost Cult, and I'm out. Gonna dance a jig on the way out for the last time in 2026. Peace, y'all. Time to drink beer, eat an obscene amount of cheese and crackers, and watch videos. Stay metal. See you next year.